Hello, I'm Dave Bennett, and welcome to episode 2 of Seniors Update here at NAC TV, a new program that we've got going. Hope to have many episodes in the future as well. My guest today is Michelle Kasprick, and Michelle is the, get the title right, Senior Resource Coordinator of HAND here in Neepawa. Welcome, Michelle.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Well, I'm looking forward to finding out a little bit more about some of the opportunities for seniors in the area. We're going to discuss 2 or 3 topics. ERIC is one of the first ones we want to talk about, and that's the emergency response kit that you can have attached onto your fridge. And then Michelle wants to talk about the hearing aid assistance program that I didn't know about, so I'm interested in that. And if we have time, we'll talk about Victoria Lifeline as well. So maybe we'll get right to it and get on to the ERIC program as such. So it's Emergency Response Information Kit is what ERIC stands for,
yes.
right? So what really is the purpose of that kit? Let's start with that and then go into what's inside the kit maybe.
The purpose is for when somebody has to call an ambulance, go to the doctor, go to the hospital, it's basically a little kit that has all your pertinent information in one spot. So there's going to be the 9-digit and 6-digit personal health numbers.
Right. Manitoba Health, of course. That's
off your card. And a list of medications. You can designate a proxy. There's a bunch of different things. And what you do with it is once it's all filled out, it stays on the front of your fridge. And then there's a little sticker that you put on the main entrance to your home so that if EMS was to come, they always look for that sticker on your door. And when they see that, one of them is going to go to your fridge immediately and grab that and take that with you. Because what it does, having all your information in there, it's going to let them know the things that they need to know about you. And also when you get to the hospital, it makes the doctors and the nurses' jobs much easier. So,
and with the list of medication there, the EMT people, have a bit of a heads up of what's with you then, I guess, don't they?
Well, and it's much easier than trying, a lot of people may have blister packs, but then the ones that don't, it's a lot easier to have that list than to run around trying to grab medications and find out what that person is on. So it's just an everything all in one kind of a kit.
Keeping it updated, of course, is important too, isn't it? That things change, I'm sure.
Yeah, it is. And so that includes, of course, your medication. And if a person is on a lot of medication, I think the easiest way to do this is to go to your pharmacy, and you may have to pay $1 or something, but to get a printout from them, because then it says what the medication is, the dosage and such. And so you can do that. And then if your proxy changes, you have to keep everything updated.
So maybe you've brought a kit with you here, Michelle. Maybe open it up and show us exactly what's in there and what the sheets of paper are for and so on.
For sure. So this is what it looks like. It's magnetized on the back so that it will stay on your fridge. And so what is in here? We'll just go through each.
Yeah, I brought, mine's an old one, so yours may be some more information in it.
Yeah, I think they've actually updated these recently.
Yes.
So this is the sticker. So once you have your ERIC kit completed, this is the sticker that you put on the main entrance, on the outside of the main entrance of your home.
Or an apartment block on the apartment door.
Same thing. Yeah, your primary entrance. So inside there is a healthcare directive, so you can designate who you would like as a proxy, and also what your wishes are. So if you were unable to speak for yourself, you could indicate if you wanted extraordinary measures taken or comfort care or a do not resuscitate order. So that's very important to have. And then of course you sign and date it. And any time you change it, sign and date. And it's important to actually destroy old copies too.
Just like an old will, you should get rid of.
So yeah, and I can always provide new forms for you.
Now you would talk to your family and your medical provider, your doctor, I suppose, regarding this?
Yes, and then you should bring this to your appointments too.
Oh, okay. To a doctor's appointment.
Yeah. So then if there's any updates, you can do it, right then.
So really it's something you should kind of take with you. What if you were going on a trip? Might be an idea to take it with you, perhaps. I don't know.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to have with you anytime you go somewhere. And I don't think it's just for seniors. I think it's good for anybody.
Surely,
really.
Of course. So that's the healthcare directive, it's called.
That's the healthcare directive.
Okay.
Yeah. The other thing that's in here is there is a sheet where you can write down your medications and the strength and dosage and the frequency and stuff. But like I said, if it's a lot of writing. So it can be easier to just get a printout from your pharmacy. And then on the back, it's just your personal information basically. So, your pharmacy name, your emergency contact person, your date of birth, your healthcare numbers.
Right. And that's where I see this is where the Manitoba Health 6-digit registration number would go, and also your 9-digit personal.
Yep, it's on the
number,
reverse side of where you'd list your medications.
Right, yes. Yeah.
This card here is if you want to sign up to be an organ donor. It used to be, I think, on your license, didn't it?
Yes. You could sign the back of your driver's license.
Right. And now you actually have to sign up online. So it gives you instructions on how to do that. It just takes a couple minutes.
Oh, okay.
And then this is a new form that they've put in the ERIC kit, and it's a patient resident client advocate agreement. So what this does is you choose a person, keeping in mind that, this is confidential information. So you want to be, fairly confident in who you're choosing. And it's just giving that person the access to go with you to your medical appointments, to ask questions on your behalf, explain things to you, be present in a room for exams and such. And you can actually choose there's a list here where you can tick off the spots.
And choose, what was that choosing? Choosing the type
you're giving permission for this person that you've chosen to, the first one is access and review my medical health records.
Right.
There's different things that you're giving permissions for. You don't have to choose them all. Then you have that person sign and date it. And again, if you change a person, do a new one, destroy the old one.
Right, yeah. This is quite important, I think. I've recently, wanted to make some change on something, with my wife and I would phone in, and I could do it for me, but I couldn't do anything for my wife.
That's right.
Is she there? Yes. Well, can we speak to her? They say, will you let David answer these questions? Yes, I will. And then I go ahead and make a change of some kind. But it's becoming more difficult, you might say, but I guess there's some protection there as well.
Due to confidentiality.
Right.
Yeah.
So that this is good to have, because you might get to a particular place and they won't let you talk about your wife or wife talk about the husband or something or other, unless maybe you've got that form, or your mother or whatever.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that's why the signature is important too. Kind of works the same in a sense as power of attorney, right? You are giving that permission. So
yeah, that's a good addition, I think, to the kit.
I think so too.
Yeah.
So that is what is in an ERIC kit. These are available at the hand office for free. So please come and get one, because they are so important. They're an important tool to aging well and safely.
Now, there used to be a charge for these, am I right or not?
They used to be $1,
oh.
but yeah, but now they are just provided.
And you have a new batch in, is what you just said?
I have a ton of them in. I had just ordered some, and then they are now provided for us. So we just got those a week or two ago, and I have a couple big cases of them.
Okay, so give us your phone number again and tell us where you are.
You can find me at the hand office, and the phone number is 204-476-2009.
Okay, and that's in the...
it's in the southeast corner of the drop-in center.
Of the drop-in center.
Yep, right across from the Legion.
Okay, so yes, but by all means drop in and say hello to Michelle. She'll be glad to talk to you for a couple of minutes and pick up one of those kits next time you're in town or out and about, so that you can do that. So we talked about the cost and how to get them. There's no registering or anything. You just get it and hang it on your fridge. That's it, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, just come and get them. And they are so important. So please do come see me and grab one.
Nice and simple to do that. The hard part is really keeping it updated. I really think, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And people forget about it too because it's hanging on the fridge and you don't think of it. But it is an important piece of your, it's an important tool, right?
Right. And for your protection and so on.
That's right.
That's right, because you never know when the ambulance gets called or you need assistance, and that information is very, very valuable to the people that are going to be helping you. So, all right, so that's the ERIC kit, E-R-I-K, Emergency Response Information Kit.
Right.
There we go. All right. Well, let's move on then, Michelle. The other second item that you wanted to talk about, and I know nothing about this, so is the Hearing Aid Assistance Program. Is that what it would be called? And who organizes it? What's it? Who provides it? Obviously, you administer it and so on.
Well, you can get the forms, I think, at any audiologist or hearing aid provider, but we have the forms at the office. To be eligible for this program, you need to be a Manitoban, you need to be 65 years of age or older, and your household income needs to be $80,000 or less. Well,
that's a pretty, for a single person, that's a fairly high number. So
it is.
Yes, for a couple perhaps, maybe not so high, but for a single person, it's certainly
I think
high number. Most people, single people, could qualify for this.
It's quite easy to qualify for
Really?
it, yeah. And it's simple to get, really, because you just need the application form that looks like this, which I have at the office. You can also print them off online, too.
Okay.
And then you need a current prescription from an audiologist or an audiogram. And then you need a proof of income statement. And those have to come from the CRA. You can't use your income tax notice of assessment. It has to be
really?
Right. It has to be an actual proof of income statement. And all you have to do to get them, and I've done this for many, many people, there's a 1-800 number that you phone, and it's not like when you phone.
You're online for a long time.
Yeah, you're not on hold. It's all automated. It's very clear, very simple. You of course, put in your social insurance number is the one thing you need.
Yes.
You also need, so you need, of course, your name and date of birth, your address, but line 150 off of your most recent assessment. They need to know that, and then they will actually send you the proof of income statement.
Okay.
So you need to also remember that you can't go and get your hearing aids and then apply for this. You have to apply, get approved, and then purchase your hearing aids.
So for somebody that already has hearing aids, but they're needing upgrades or new ones or whatever, I assume they're eligible, are they? If they
meet the criteria, yeah, and they go to the audiologist and get that report and then do this, yes. And you can actually get $2,000, up to $2,000 every 5 years. So it's an ongoing grant program, yeah.
And that would be for the purchase of the hearing aids themselves, not for batteries, I'm assuming.
No, the batteries and maintenance and stuff throughout the years in between the grants, that's up to you.
Right.
Yep.
Well, that's something I didn't know about, hearing aid assistance. You should certainly check that out. If you can hear me, maybe your hearing's okay. If you're getting closer to the television so that you can hear what Michelle and I are saying,
then
perhaps you want to by all means, give Michelle a phone call. Tell us that phone number again, Michelle.
It's 204-476-2009.
2009.
Yes.
All right, I'll even write that down on my sheet so I've got that there. All right, that's the hearing aid program. Okay, now you also wanted to talk about the Victoria Lifeline. I understand there's assistance perhaps for that. Sounds like there's assistance for a lot of things that maybe people don't know about.
I'm finding that, yes.
Yes.
So the Hand Office is a partner with the Victoria Lifeline. And so what that means is if you're needing one, you can give me a call. It's a very simple procedure. I just ask a few questions to fill out a care plan, basically. An important thing people need to remember is that they want to have some responders. So that's a person that if your lifeline goes off or you push your button, that it's somebody maybe close by that can come and check on you, or it can be simply somebody that Lifeline will notify, you know. But it's nice to have that. If you don't, it's okay to put 911 as your responder.
Oh,
if you
really?
have, yeah, if there's nobody close by, because a lot of people, their kids are,
Right.
you know, all over the place. So you can also just put 911. But you know, it's the care plan takes a few minutes because there's just the responders, and then we put a little bit of a health history. And if you have any allergies, you know, medications, health conditions, stuff like that, it literally, it's a few questions.
And this is with Victoria Lifeline,
Yes.
that particular source that provides that a lot of people I know use Victoria Lifeline.
It's,
They're
yeah,
familiar with it.
there's many
So
people.
what amount of assistance is available on that? Like,
Financially?
yes. Or is
So, well, there's a subsidy program, and I'm finding a lot of people don't know about it. And for people that are on pension only, it's quite easy to qualify, really, because if your income is $16,000 or less on your notice of assessment, then you likely qualify. And if you're a couple, if you're married, then your household income, if it is $24,000 or less, you qualify. And that just really cuts the cost of Lifeline. And I think it deters a lot of people because they think they can't afford it. But it's very, very affordable and so necessary. There's different kinds of buttons. There's different prices on buttons. You know, some are the kind that you have to push yourself. Some will go off.
Motion activated.
Yeah,
right,
like they
yes.
have fall detection. So there's even some that have GPS that are
yeah.
actually their own little system that you wear around your neck. You don't even have to have a base in your house.
Oh,
So yeah, they're a great tool to be able to maintain your independence and live in your own home for as long as possible.
Would there be assistance for all those different types, perhaps, or just the more basic one you might wear on your wrist, perhaps? You know?
I believe it's for all of them.
Yeah.
Well,
I-
I would have to look. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
the GPS button, I'm not sure. That one I have to
But it
check.
would be more expensive, one would think.
Right. But the other ones, the most popular one is our auto alert button, and that's the one that has the fall detection.
Right, yes.
So definitely for the basic buttons that you can wear on your wrist and your neck, there is subsidy. The auto alert, there is subsidy. And then I will double check on the GPS
On
button.
the other one. Well, you certainly want to phone Michelle at, I wrote the number down, 204-476-2009 if you're interested in any of these programs. You think you might qualify for some of them and get more information. We can give you a little bit over this program, but our intent really is to, you know, give you the idea and get you thinking about some of these things and then making a phone call and following up to see if you are eligible for some of the subsidies. And if you're not eligible, they're still good things to have and perhaps work out a way that you could afford, you know, to have some of those things. The ERIC kit, certainly there's no affordability on that. That's something you can do, just get one and you know, contact your doctor, contact pharmacists in order to get the information you need and get that up on your fridge. And that's good. Well, Michelle, I didn't ask you at the beginning about your background, and I meant to. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got involved in this particular position. You've been here a couple of years, you tell me?
Yeah, I started off actually shortly after high school, taking training to be a comprehensive healthcare aide.
Oh, yes.
And so I really had a love for home care. So I was in home care for 20 plus years, and I loved that. And then I saw this position come up, and so I jumped at it right away, actually, because seniors are my favorite group of people to be with, always.
Well,
so it
you
was
always have. I've known you since high school.
yes.
And you've always been caring and interested in older people. That's how I've really. You were always interested in what I was doing anyway. I know that. So you were kind of a perfect person for the job, I thought.
Well, thank you. I love it. It's a way that I can still work with the people that I love to work with and help them even more than I was able to when I was doing home care. There's so many more areas that I can jump into now, and not only, you know, with helping, but I can provide a social aspect, and well, pretty much anything they need. If I can help, I'll get in there. But it's just a very fulfilling job.
You've run a few programs, trips and things like that, I know, out of your office. Whether that's an extra or whether you consider that part of your mandate, I'm not sure. But tell us a little bit about some of those extracurricular things that you do.
Well, we're partnered with the Handy Van, and so we work together and we do bus trips. So we've done, we did one to Celebrations, dinner theater, which was excellent.
Just before they closed,
Well,
I guess.
we did one several months before,
Okay.
and then right the day that they closed, we were actually scheduled to do another one. So that one got canceled. And we've done some trips to Brandon and also to Sand Hills Casino. We go
Okay.
once monthly. And we've done barbecues and we've done teas, and there's some really great spring and summer programming coming up, which I can't talk about just yet. But keep your eyes and ears open.
So are some of this fundraising to support your office and that, or?
Yes, we did do a lot of fundraising in the summer, like the barbecue that we did, and the tea, and just we did a 50-50 raffle, just different things, because HAND is a non-profit organization, so it does require fundraising. So some of it's for fundraising and some of it's just purely for the enjoyment of our seniors.
Right.
So
there's a board, I'm assuming, that somewhat assists you and oversees you?
I have an excellent board, yes. It's made up of, jeepers, I think 10.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 10 community members and volunteer, of course, and they are absolutely wonderful and so supportive. You know, I couldn't ask for better people. I'm very lucky.
Well, certainly in the 2 years ago when you started, in the transition between the previous person, that was Jeannie, I guess, wasn't it?
Yes.
You took over from Jeannie Barnaby, and yourself. The board would be useful at that point to help carry.
They're wonderful.
You started and so on. So.
Oh yeah, no, they're just
so they
great.
meet once a month?
No, not necessarily. We meet, I don't know, maybe quarterly, sometimes. It just really depends. Like if there's a lot going on and we need to meet a little more often, we do. It depends, but they're very dependable, and I can get a hold of them whenever I need to, and they're always there for me. So.
Well, that's great. Well, I know at the barbecue you ran in the summer, I was there, and I saw a number of people cooking hot dogs and that, and I thought, well, gee, they must be board members, and I guess the number of them were. So.
They were, yeah, and actually some spouses too of board members were helping, but they just dug right in, and and it's good because I want the community to know who they are, and so if they have questions, you can go to these people too, and they can point you in the right direction.
So who's the chairman of the?
Velda Bradley. Right now is our chair, and Jim Coburn is the vice chair.
Okay, so there's a couple of people you may know if you're interested in knowing a little bit about the board end of things. That goes on. You could contact either of them, I'm sure, to get some information or to offer assistance and be a volunteer in that program. And I'm sure, Michelle, you're looking for volunteers for a lot of seniors programs around, and you're kind of a spot that the spoke of the wheel, all the things in assistance and volunteering with seniors out here, and you're kind of in the center trying to coordinate and pass on information.
That's a good, I like that.
Right.
Yeah, I can always use volunteers. I have a program kind of just kind of starting where if anybody wants to volunteer, I can provide a free criminal record check and adult abuse registry check.
Oh, okay.
And then, if you want to just spend some time with them and, play cards, bake, read, go for a little walk.
with seniors.
Yes.
Oh, I
yeah.
see.
So if anybody wants to volunteer, they can get a hold of me at the office, and I can get that all set up for them. And then for the programs that we do, when we have a tea, for example, that takes a lot of volunteers because we need people to serve tea and coffee and sit at the door and stuff like that. And we've been very lucky. Like, it's never hard to find volunteers. This town is amazing. So
That's good. So if you'd like to be involved, you can certainly get a hold of Michelle and do that. So I think we've covered pretty well everything. Would you like to have a final comment, perhaps, to the encourage them to take part in these programs and so on?
yes, please do. I'm always available at the office. If you give me a phone call and I'm not there, you can leave a message and I will get back to you right away. Just ask me any questions you may have, and I'll do my best to help you.
Well, thank you, Michelle. My guest today has been Michelle Kasprick, the Senior Coordinator at HAND. That's Home Assistance Nipawin District. Offices are in the drop-in center, or that's just across from the Legion in Nipawin. The phone number, I think I remember it, 204-476, quick peek, 2009 to get a hold of Michelle. And please join us for future episodes of Seniors Update here on NAC TV.